If you've ever wanted to make an awesome Noodle front-end app that retrieves cat pictures from a Directus backend database, then you're in the right place. In this video, part 3, we're going to look at how we get the results from the integration we created with Directus in this function, how we put that into visual elements in Noodle. So we need to, we don't need to use an array, but I like to use arrays sometimes just to make things easier to access from other places. So we can do the function once, pipe the results into an array so that the function doesn't call multiple times. Like if I go, into an image to view the image and then come back out again, I don't have to make a second call to get the 3 images again. I store them in a local array. So that's the advantage of Noodle array nodes, is it's stored locally as long as you stay within the same page, within start page, don't move to other pages, then that array will stay constant and I can still use that data. So it's just for me, it's just a good practice. We're going to pipe that array or the direct results, if you want to, straight into a repeater. I've put the repeater into columns because if not, it's going to display vertically. I want it to display horizontally, so I put it into columns. I put the column string as 111. I could have had it as 111111 if I want to have it maximum 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across, or like say 6 across. I could do it like this. And then I could say minimum column width is going to be, I think the image width is 250. So we'll say 250 width. And then it means that if someone stretches their screen out, then more cats will fit in here. But if not, and the screen is smaller, then the cats will go down below instead. So that's the advantage of using column nodes. They're not perfect, but it does the job that it needs to do to get something displaying with the repeater horizontally. Then within the repeater, to show that item, each of these items, we're going to need to add an image element, an image component, an image node that we put under the group. And the image node, I've made it a fixed width of 250 by 200. I could have made it whatever, just it's to make it display more easily. It obviously doesn't look great, but it's a good example. And then we need to put an object down because we're not working with the record node. We're not using the Noodle backend. We're using Directus. So we're just storing objects in arrays and then pulling those objects out. The object is getting its data from the repeater, and that data, as you can see, is user created, date created, etc. What we're looking for is the picture URL. So we put in that property, picture URL, and then that outputs picture URL to the source of the image and displays the image. Like I said before, if we don't have this API access token on the end of the image the image address, or if we are not authenticated with Directus in the front end in this in the preview or in the browser, then we won't be able to access the image. You'll just get 3 broken links. So it's just something important to remember to make it work. Once you've created the cat component, then in the repeater, you just look in the template for the component you just created, cat, and then all the items will generate 1 cat component each, which will then output the picture URL to the image and display the image. And so now you have your super duper cat app connected to Directus, and the integration has begun. Obviously there's a lot more we can do, and we'll look at that in future videos.